is it possible that this movie is actually just a really, really great action movie? Like cheesy, but really, really great. And that is why Steven Seagal kept getting more and more movies.
Could be.
And then he just got really big and then
like literally
slow.
really big.
He did get very large. He disappeared for a while and then he came back. And I was like, sir.
Yeah, you're like the 6-degree black belt of pie eating contest.
Is it pie eating or did he just stop doing the physical stuff?
Probably
Maybe it was a combination of both.
Steven Seagal looked like the bakery was under siege. Like the Cheesecake Factory was out for justice.
Look.
Those donuts were marked for consumption.
Dude.
Lights. Camera. And action.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast.
Remember those childhood movies you loved? We're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Let's get ready to join Anna and Jimmy as they go back and watch those movies you remember being oh so awesomely good. Horror movies that scared. Comedy movies that dared.
Damn!
And action movies so preposterously ludicrous that they defied the laws of common sense. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. We are still in the 80s. Oh, I didn't edit this. Give me 1 second.
You're fired.
We're going to 1988. Now, this movie in the 80s and the early 90s, there were certain actors that guaranteed a certain level of movie. The A-listers were Arnold Schwarzenegger and what's that other guy?
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No.
Sylvester Stallone, yeah.
Fuck.
Sorry.
Rambo. I've
My
only
bad.
seen every movie he's made. I'm watching Tulsa Kings.
Who's that guy with the funny accent?
Yeah. Those were your A-listers. Then you had your B and C listers. C-listers, I would say, would probably be Chuck Norris, Charles Bronson. Not that they were, we love Death Wish.
Yes.
Death Wish 2, not so much.
No.
But I love Chuck Norris, and I love Chuck Norris has gone on to be this
he's a legend.
Yeah. And he's apparently supposed to be such a fucking nice guy.
I've heard that.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we're not doing a Chuck Norris movie. The B levels, I would say, were Jean-Claude Van Damme. And because he made a lot of his movies were very similar in plot, but he also gave us like Time Cop and a little bit more variety. Our guy, Steven Seagal, his movies were pretty much consistent, but you knew what you were going to get with a Steven Seagal movie. A different name for a bad guy, different culture.
But it was the same movie, essentially.
But it was the same movie.
Over again. Yes.
And we, like we've said before, we have 3 movies where we pick. I pick one and Anna picks one. If we pick the same movie, great. If not, we cancel each other out. And this was actually the one that we got canceled out because I think, did you pick Mark for Death?
No.
Oh, okay. You picked.
What
would you
the
pick?
other one?
Oh, crap. They're all the same on Deadly
They're all
Ground,
the same.
or...
Well, no, because
I picked Mark for Death. I think that was the Jamaican bad guys.
I think so. Hold on. I'm gonna. Okay. I think I picked Hard to Kill.
Oh, Hard to Kill. Yeah. And that's the one where
I picked Hard to Kill.
He's in a coma in that one, but then wakes up and.
Yeah. That was the one that I remembered the most of all 3.
That's with his wife, right?
Yes. Now, I know I have seen all 3 of the movies that were on the list.
Yes.
I can't tell you which one is which.
I know the one you picked, Hard to Kill, had his wife. And I think Mark for Death had the Jamaican bad guys. And I think Above the Law is Italian bad guys. I think.
Yes.
But they're all kind of the same.
They're all the same movie.
Yeah.
but with different ethnicities and different law enforcement agencies.
Yes, yeah.
Sometimes he's DEA, sometimes he's FBI, sometimes he's just a regular city cop, but he's always some sort of law enforcement. There's always like a cartel, a gang, or like gun runners, mafia, like that kind of organized crime. It's always organized crime. It's never just one guy with a vendetta. Organized crime. And then one of his loved ones, whether it's a friend, a his best friend that he's worked with and he's been partnered with for the last 5 years, or his like lover, wife, girlfriend, whatever, they all get killed or seriously hurt.
Yeah.
And then he avenges them.
He avenges
It's
them.
the same movie every single. So until I start watching it, I don't know which movie it is.
Yeah. Like I remember loving Under Siege.
Under Siege.
Yeah.
But that's also because he wears a uniform through some of it. So it's easier
Yeah.
to identify.
And I like Glimmer Man with Keenan Ivory Wayans. I
have
think he
never
was in
seen
Half
that.
Past Dead, which was one where they break into the prison.
I
And then he just made straight after a while, he just made straight to, and I didn't
Straight to
watch
video.
a lot of those. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't watch straight to videos. And
Well-
now he's just this big, giant, fat.
Once he started
martial art
coloring his
master.
hair,
If
And
you see it
having
where
that-
it leaks
that
when he's sweating, it kind of
yes, it does leak. And then he has that big goatee
Yeah.
that I'm like, that must be like glued on. It must be. That's nobody. Nah.
Yeah.
Anyways, he got weird. He got weird, and I think he produces a lot of his own like
Yeah.
straight to video stuff. And
Well,
I think
apparently after a
that's where he
while he
hits the wall.
got so fat that they were only allowed to shoot him like chest up. They weren't allowed to shoot. And I'm like, really? That's the martial arts master? This big fat double art?
I think I saw one of his later like straight to videos. I think it was on TV once, and I literally just stopped and I was like, he's moving so slow.
Yeah.
He's moving so how is that scary to anybody? He's moving so people can just walk like power walk away from him. What the
Well, I do remember they made fun of him the way he runs. And I don't know if it's in this movie or if he stopped running, but it was a thing where he kind of runs weird.
I hope he runs in this movie because I want to see it.
Yeah.
Look,
And-
I'm not going to judge anybody for the way they run because
yeah,
I
I'm not a
don't
big
run.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
I'm pretty sure I would look fucking ridiculous too.
No, apparently I look fine, but I'm like, why? Why run? I simply choose not to do it ever. So I'm not going to make fun of anybody if they choose to run. I'm like, good on you, my friends. Good on you. You
One time I would-
run like the wind.
Run after the ice cream truck, maybe.
That too.
Or send the
kinda-
kids to run in. I'll catch up. But
Be like, stop them. I'll come with the wallet.
I did like his movies. He wasn't my favorite or anything like that, but
They
you
were
knew what you were
entertaining.
getting. Yeah, they're just entertaining action
The
movies.
earlier ones were entertaining action movies. You weren't looking for a deep plot. You weren't looking for,
No,
complicated dialogue. You weren't looking for the meaning of life in his movies. You were looking for a basic workable plot that would lead you to fighting and to the good guys winning.
Yeah.
That's all you needed.
it was a simpler time.
It really was.
Yeah. There wasn't a whole lot of story and plot.
Now
back in
everybody
the
wants
day.
so much subtext.
Yeah.
And
why?
look
Why
at-
is he
look for
doing
the
this?
deeper meaning, Look for the whys, look for the hows. Look for is it his shadow self? Like I'm
Yeah.
like too many writers have been in therapy and they want to bring that therapy into movies.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want shit to explode and fights to be had.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Why does our character do this?
What's the motivation?
Because that's what's on the script. And that's what the audience wants to see.
Look, don't get me wrong. I appreciate a good actor and I love it when there is subtext. And sometimes a movie is meant for that.
Oh yeah.
Steven Seagal movies are not meant for that.
No. All right. What do we think the budget is?
I'm going to say, because this is 1988, I'm going to say it's kind of high, but not really. I
I was gonna say
10
mid,
million?
like close. It was actually 7.5.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I went a little high on that. I think I was thinking Steven Seagal was more bankable, so they might have, but this would have been one of his earlier ones.
This was
Under
actually
Siege
his
probably would
first.
have been. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And then I can see down here they just kept going up for each one that came out. Oh, Out for Justice, I think, was a good one too. Again, but same movie.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, let's be real.
All right. So let's see how it did at the box office above. How do we think?
I think it did amazing at the box office.
There's a reason his movies didn't just start going straight to DVD. Like his movies went to theaters for a while. I'm going to share this before I bring it up. So Above the Law for 7.5 minutes. Oh, only made 18.8 million.
Which actually not bad.
No, it's not bad.
Because we have to remind ourselves this is 1988.
Yes. Yeah, not every movie's expect to make $100 million.
Yeah, exactly. Like now, if you see, like if a movie costs 50 million and you see them making 100 million, you're like, oh, that's not much.
Yeah. So it opened at number 8.
Okay.
But it was only in 350 theaters. So if just to give you an idea, Beetlejuice was number 1 in its second week, and it was in 1,500, just over 1,500 theaters, and it was making $5,600 per theater. Above the Law was making $5,800 per theater because it was only in 350. So
that's amazing.
Movie theaters were probably pretty fucking happy to have that movie.
Oh yeah.
So 1st to 7, Beetlejuice. Week 2, Biloxi Blues, which I loved. Week 3, Bad Dreams is a horror movie. Seventh Sign, Demi Moore.
Oh yeah.
Bright Lights, Big City, I believe is, oh God, what's his name? He was in Back to the Future.
Oh my God.
Back to the Future and the TV show Family Ties. Jesus Christ.
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So close. Apparently, Kiefer Sutherland is in it too. Yeah.
Oh. Fox and the Hound re-release, obviously.
Classic.
And Good Morning Vietnam.
Oh, God. I love that movie. I haven't seen it.
No, not in a long time.
Then
Above the Law, which was ahead of Moonstruck, 17th. Johnny Be Good, 3 weeks. So yeah, and so basically, and then it went to 11th place, but then it went up to 4th place because it got more theaters. 4th place, 6, 7, 7. So I think it was one of those things where they dropped the ball a bit.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, people would have probably
They probably didn't think it was going to make that much money.
No, I think they were thinking like along the lines of Missing in Action, Death Wish.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let us go to Rotten Tomatoes. What do we think? What do you think the reviews are going to be?
I think they're all going to be terrible. I think everybody's going to hate this movie.
I don't think,
or at least critics will hate this movie.
Critics will hate this movie. Yeah.
Critics will definitely hate this movie.
Let's see. Yep. Well, 20 critic reviews comes in at 50%. Oh, surprisingly, audience reviews, Popcorn Meter, 25,000 plus, comes in at 48%.
Wow.
Uh-oh. It came out on April 8th, rated R, an hour and 39 minutes. Oh, that's okay.
That does not bode well for us.
No. I will. You did the good reviews last time. I will do them this time. Okay. So this is from Kathy Burke, United Press International. Above the Law has enough offbeat updates on the cops and robbers theme to at least make the film visually interesting most of the time. It's not a great review. Jesus.
Most of the time it doesn't suck. Oh,
yeah.
Alexander Walker of the London Evening Standard says it's yet another variant on the theme of the rogue cop, martial arts division, who abandons his badge to clean up some dirty work in the neighborhood.
Yeah. All right. Rob Val, Flipside Movie Emporium. An artifact from the way back when Steven Seagal was novel and therefore sort of cool. 3 out of 5.
Hal Hinson from the Washington Post says it's woefully short on originality, intelligibility, and anything resembling taste.
Dragon Antolov, Rec Arts Movies Reviews. It might be arguable whether it is the best Seagal film or not, but Nico, character in the film, still has all the important Seagal trademarks. 6 out of 10.
I'm reading this one simply because it's a little bougie. This is from Dennis Schwartz, from Dennis Schwartz Movie Reviews. A jeune actioner that has pretensions of making a political statement about such things as drugs, smuggling, and illegals. Original score C+. I just like that he used jejune. I haven't heard that in forever.
Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times. It gives it a good review. It contains 50% more plot than it needs, but that allows it room to grow in areas not ordinarily covered in action thrillers. Score 3 out of 4.
That's fucking fantastic. And John J. Puccio from Movie Metropolis says, old-fashioned, nonstop violence from beginning to end with subtlety out the window. Now that feels like a good review.
Yeah. All right, let's go to IMDb, the voice of reason. Unless you have I'm out of good ones.
Nope.
So.
There were a lot of people who were like, this movie sucks, but they didn't actually write anything.
Oh, okay. All right. 36,000 reviewers give it 6 out of 10. So that's not too bad.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Okay. I'll start with 10. Yeah, I'm seeing all the posters for all his other movies here. Yeah, I can't tell you what they're about.
They're all the same movie.
But I could give you any plot, and it could be any one of them. All right, where are the reviews? I'll do 10. This should be interesting. All right. Seagal's first masterpiece, the best. GP Mac. I don't know if I trust him. If he's calling a Seagal movie a masterpiece.
This was Genesis from Damian Phelps, 9 out of 10.
I don't know if I would. This is okay. Seagal goes above the law in Above the Law. D. Reed, 8 out of 10. That's so dumb.
Above the Law is the one and only 80s Seagal, so we might as well bask in the glory of that moment. Tarbosh, 22,000, 7 out of 10.
Seagal's first film with lots of violence, suspense, struggles, and action filled. Ma Cortez, 6 out of 10.
A nice action movie with a complicated and not really interesting plot. Matty Georgie, 5 out of 10.
Give this man a Nobel Peace Prize or something. 4 out of 10. Convertry. I think he's being sarcastic.
I think that's a solid guess.
Yeah.
Seagal's first slap happy adventure. 3 out of 10 from PKZ Wiz.
Timothy Franklin, 2 out of 10. Nice moves, but he runs like a girl.
No, I'm pretty sure there are girls that run better than him. But we'll find out for sure, and we will report back on his running style. Dreadful, badly acted macho cop movie. That's from Shane of PG, 1 out of 10.
All right. Here's some taglines before we...
I'm ready. Hit me.
Oh, fuck. Here we go. He was a covert agent trained in Vietnam. He has a master 6th degree black belt. Oh, for fuck. Of course he does. Do you even go to 6th degree? Oh, about 6th degree black belt in Aikido and family in the mafia. He's a cop with an attitude. That's the tagline.
That is a hardcore sales pitch.
Yeah. Here's the other one. He's a cop who believes no one is above the law.
I mean, that's not bad.
Better than the other one.
Yeah.
The first one.
It's not good, but it's not bad.
All right. Now the moment.
I'm ready.
Classic trailer. Here we go. Ooh, 12 years ago. Holy shit. Fair enough. Let's share it. I was just about to play it. I'll tell you what it's like. All right, here we go.
Meet Nico, a covert agent trained to survive in Vietnam. Nico has a 6th-degree black belt in Aikido and family in the mafia. Nico's a cop with a bad attitude.
Do you know why I love you? You don't live the way other people live.
You're officially suspended, this guy.
The feds come in, the doors close, nobody hears, smells, or sees anything.
One man. Just made number 4 on the most wanted list. One obsession.
I want to be number 1.
One rule.
You guys think you're above the law. You ain't above mine.
Nico.
I think because in a lot of countries, this movie was called Nico.
Yeah.
So, but I think we got the gist.
Yeah. No.
That trailer looks amazing.
Okay, so it's
all the
it could go
bad
either
ways
way.
and all the right ways.
It could go either way. It could either be so terrible, it's amazing.
That's what it
Maybe-
looks like.
Yeah. Or
Or it could
we
just be
could be
bad.
being fooled by that trailer and it's so terrible. It's just garbage.
Terrible, yeah. But I mean, the gun shooting, the bad one-liners,
Everything breaking. Oh my God. So much broken glass.
the cheesy romance.
S-
You know why I love you? Because you live like
You don't live like
different,
everyone
yeah.
else.
What?
Dude, that is not a reason to love someone.
Who the fuck wrote this movie? Jesus Christ.
I can't wait.
I am so looking forward to watching this movie now. Oh my God.
Now I feel kind of like I want to watch it right now. Because I'm dying to know how bad it is.
I know I try to wait I try to do it on Wednesday because I'm busy on Thursday, but
Yeah.
I try to push it to as far.
I always watch
The
if
day
I
of would
can.
be great.
I do day of. I do
Yeah.
the afternoon of. Because I'm like, I want it all fresh in my mind. And I want to walk in to this podcast with the same feeling
Yeah.
right after I finish that. I want to walk in with that same vibe. So I'm like, usually I finish watching it at about 6:00. And then we start at 7. So I'm like, I'm ready to go at 7. So I'm like, 6:00 is my cutoff. And that's usually when I finish the movie. I try to time it so that I'm done by 6.
This looks
I
fantastic.
can't wait until next Friday.
Like if it's as bad as it looks like, it could be awesome, and we have
Oh
to
my
do
God.
more.
It could possibly be one of the greatest experiences of a bad movie.
And I
even
recognize a
any
lot of the
good bad
faces.
movie. Yes. There were a lot of like I'm watching through and I was like, oh, there's
Like
a
the
lot of
main bad guy there, he's been in a ton. I can't. I don't know
Yes.
his name. Give me one sec, because I want to know who directs this.
The director is Andrew Davis.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't ring a bell, but
He's one of the
apparently,
Oh, Steven Seagal was one of the writers on it too.
oh fuck yeah,
That's awesome.
fuck yeah. Oh, Andrew
Oh
Davis
shit.
directed The Fugitive.
Oh shit. Yeah, and Hole.
Under
I loved
Siege.
Holes. Under Sea. I actually like The Guardian.
He directed A Perfect Murder, which was so fucking good.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe this is good. I like The
he also
Guardian.
directed
Collateral Damage. with
Code of
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Silence with Chuck Norris.
Nice. Oh, Chain Reaction. I remember liking that movie. I love The Fugitive.
Oh, The Fugitive was so good.
Yeah, I liked Under Siege. Yeah, he's done. Hey, Jesus.
Yeah, he's done quite a
he
bit.
did The Final Terror. Code of
I
Silence.
have not seen that.
Huh. okay, this might be
Wait,
all right. I don't know.
he directed Holes.
Yeah, that's what I said. I loved Holt. I thought that was a great movie.
I got so distracted by all the other stuff. I was like, I love Holes too.
Yeah, that's an awesome. I remember it being awesome. Steven Seagal wrote it with Andrew Davis and Stephen Pressfield. Stephen Pressfield also wrote The Legend of Beggar's Vans, Free Jack, which I loved, Joshua Tree. Huh.
Huh.
The hell's going on here? I'm confused.
This should be interesting.
Oh, Pam Grier's in this.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Pam
Ron
Grier's in
Dean.
it. Sharon Stone is in it.
Henry Silva is the bad guy. Oh, Sharon Stone's in it. Yeah, Henry Silva.
Oh, we know Henry Silva.
Yeah, Dick Tracy, Code of Silence, The Manchurian Candidate. Yeah, he's been in 144.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know his face.
Yeah. Henry Silva.
Oh, was that
died.
Sharon Stone giving the shitty line?
I think so.
Okay. Awesome.
I think she might play the girlfriend, wife, whatever. Henry Silva only died like 3 years ago at the age of 95.
Nice.
God bless. You're a good man, sir. Oh, he was in the original Manchurian Candidate.
Yeah, not the new one with Denzel Washington, the 1960s one.
He was in the OG Ocean's 11.
Yes.
I think I remember him.
Yeah,
you've seen his face.
He's been in tons of shit.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm confused because the people who made this movie have done some really good shit, but this was also written by Steven Seagal. The trailer looks fantastic.
Wait, is it possible that this movie is actually just a really, really great action movie? Like cheesy, but really, really great. And that is why Steven Seagal kept getting more and more movies.
Could be.
And then he just got really big and then
literally really big.
He did get very large. But it's because you see him in this movie and he's very thin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a good looking dude.
Yeah. And he disappeared for a while and then he came back. And I was like, sir.
Yeah, you're like the 6-degree black belt of pie eating contest.
Is it pie eating or did he just stop doing the physical stuff?
Probably
maybe it was a combination of both.
I mean,
if he didn't work for a while, then he's not training for movies. I mean, you hear it all the time when actors are like, yeah, when I'm in training, this is a very specific diet that I eat. Like Channing Tatum complains about it all the time because he's like, when I get into Magic Mike shape, he's like, I'm eating no sugar, no salt. It's all like vegetables, lean meats. And he's like, it's no fun. I hate it.
Yeah, he probably just stopped.
Then the minute the movie is done, he's like, pass the pie, the burgers, the fries. I'm good. Like, get me a milkshake. And he calls it his happy body, I think is what he called it. Because he's like, I just eat what I like. And that's normal.
Well, so, Steven Seagal looked like the bakery was under siege. Like the Cheesecake Factory was out for justice.
Look, I don't care if you're a bigger person, but if you're going to do action movies, you better still move fast. That's all I ask. Like that fight better still be fast.
Yeah.
You can be as thick as you want to be. But I want it to be like, if it looks like the bad guy could take a seat, read a book in between your punches, that's not what I'm looking for in an action movie.
Those donuts were marked for consumption.
Dude.
I am excited about watching this movie. I'm really excited. I'm like you. I'm kind of like, I could watch this tonight.
I know.
Yeah, I'm going to wait till closer to the end of next week. So it's fresh in my mind. But yeah, I am very excited about watching this movie. Okay. I think it's going to be, either way, it's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah, no, 100% it's going to be fun either way. And it's either going to be, we're going to have fun talking about how shitty it is and how Steven Seagal never should have had a career if this is what the beginning of it is. Or we're going to talk about how it's one of the most, like a classic action movie that everybody should watch because it's so shitty. It's amazing.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that sold me. All right. Well, we are going to go watch Above the Law from 1988. And when we come back, we are going to review it.
You heard them. Movie time. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves a treat. and then watch a classic kick-ass movie from whenever the one we're about to watch was made.
Get off for the love of Christ. There we go. Every time.
Every time.
Welcome back to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Did you watch 1988 Above the Law with Steven Seagal?
Oh boy, did I ever.
So did I. And I'm going to be the first one to say that an overly complex plot in a Steven Seagal movie should not be words that are strung together.
Correct. Correct.
Now, again, I did not hate this movie. This movie was fun on many different levels.
So many levels.
So many levels. I enjoyed myself thoroughly.
I laughed.
Oh, yeah. I laughed quite a bit too. And there were some good action set pieces.
Yes.
There were some ridiculous ones, and there were
100%.
cheesy one-liners.
So many.
You saw in the comments maybe that about the running.
Oh my God. That honestly, it is a crime against humanity that they did not put more of his running in this movie.
I don't think I think after this, there was not a lot of running after this because I think he got
so sad.
Yeah, because I'm like, you should put running in every one of your movies, dude, because I don't know what the fuck you were doing.
I rewound it. Watched it like 3 times.
Because his arms weren't it was fucked up.
But it was so funny because I was like, what does he remind me of? And for anybody who's watched Friends, there's an episode where Rachel very casually says, I'm going to go running. And Phoebe's like, I'll go with you. Rachel runs like she's in a marathon. Phoebe runs like she's on the playground chasing after a Muppet. And that's what this was like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, he runs like Phoebe.
So what are your initial thoughts?
This is objectively a bad movie. Objectively. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's not a great
It's
movie.
Absolutely terrible. But it is still entertaining.
It's very oh my God.
So entertaining. Like there were times where I literally just watched it and I'm like, I know you're Sharon Stone. I know you can act.
Yeah.
I know you can. What is this? What is this?
Well, Steven Seagal wrote it, and I'm pretty sure he wrote it in a what's all those Japanese
a kimono?
A kimono, and he had a boner, and he was like, "This is hot. This is gonna be
sometimes
so hot."
like she was talking, and I was like, first of all, who sleeps in their bra? Nobody.
A dude wrote this definitely with
100%. 100%.
This was fan fiction from Steven Seagal.
So much. So I was like, have you ever touched a woman? Is this how you talk to whoever's in your life? Why is she staying? Also, can we
you don't touch them like you run, do you? That would be weird.
So weird. But it was like, there's like a whole list of look, God bless Steven Seagal. During the first probably 5 minutes of this movie, I was like, am I watching the right movie? Because I kept thinking this is not Above the Law.
Yeah.
This is some other movie. It was not some other movie. It just felt, I was like, did I accidentally click on a documentary about him?
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, it's Above the Law. And then all of a sudden I was like, wait, is this another movie where he's in the army? No, still Above the Law. It's, CIA. No, wait, that is Above the Law, right? Why are we still here? Why are we at a baptism? First of all, everything was wrong with that Catholic baptism. You can tell. Steven Seagal and Andrew Davis, neither of them are Catholic, because I was like, everything in this is wrong. It's all wrong. I've been to a lot of Catholic baptisms.
No, this was written like, I'm going to show everyone how fucking cool I am.
100%.
You can see there are, and I don't want, it's not all bad, because there are moments where other producers were like, this guy's fucking bankable. This guy needs more money. And I think I read somewhere while I was putting shit together that after this movie, they leaned away from the overt plotting and the trying to be too serious, and leaned just into the action part of it.
Which makes a lot of sense.
And it became a winning formula for like the 10 next movies he did.
I love the action scenes.
Yeah.
And
him beating everyone up was cool.
So cool. Him with Pam Grier, his partner Jax. I was like, I like those scenes. He feels more natural. I give all credit to Pam Grier for that.
Actually, a very great actor, and I think
So
Sharon
incredible.
Stone. She was a few years away from Basic Instinct.
Yeah, and I also think for Sharon Stone, because here's the thing with actors, usually you match to your actor, to whoever you're playing the scene across. So whoever you're playing the scene with, you usually match up and you find a rhythm within it. Either one actor matches the other actor's rhythm or you find one together.
This was because she was hot.
No, that is not it. Although Pam Grier, one of the hottest women who has ever lived and still lives to this day.
Oh, I thought, are we talking about Sharon Stone or Pam Grier?
Also incredibly hot.
Yeah.
But that doesn't affect how she acts.
Oh no, I meant Steven Seagal was like, I don't care if we have chemistry. She's hot. I want her.
No. I think
I
they
want to lay in
could
bed
have.
with her.
When they weren't talking, they didn't look odd together.
No, yeah, when they were just standing and
I think Sharon Stone was meeting Steven Seagal where his talent is, whereas Steven Seagal tried to meet Pam Grier where her talent is. So you got better acting from Steven Seagal when he was with Pam Grier and worse acting from Sharon Stone when she was with Steven Seagal. And I think it deserved a director to be like, no, Sharon, you be fantastic.
Yeah.
Let him meet you there.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling Pam Grier is like, no, this is how we're playing the scene.
Yeah, because him and Pam Grier flowed a lot better than him and Sharon
Much
Stone.
better.
Can I also
do you
say
hate your wife? Like
I don't want
the way
I don't
you
want
talk to her?
I don't want to be racist. That's always how it starts.
If you have to start a sentence like that,
So,
it's
and then-
gonna be racist.
Anything that comes out of my mouth is going to be racist. The baby didn't look Italian. I'll just say it.
He doesn't look at like through this whole movie. I was very confused. Like there was some
I don't
very
think Steven
Italian.
Seagal looked Italian.
No, he didn't. He did not look Italian.
I don't think he is Italian. Is he Italian?
He's not Italian.
No, okay. I thought so.
No, I'm like when I was looking at his kid pictures, I was like, is he going to talk about how he was like adopted or something?
Yeah,
like I
he's
don't
white.
know where we're going with this. And then all of a sudden he was like, I was born in Palermo, Sicily. Born.
Yeah, born in Sicily.
And then when he speaks Italian, he sounds like he just finished his first semester of Italian in like junior high. I was like, sir.
Yeah.
There are people who speak much better Italian than you who are not Italian, were not born in Sicily, and have never spoken to any Italians.
Yeah.
What?
I was born in an Italian, in a Sicily. I eat the pizza. My
Palermo,
mama make the
Sicily.
spaghetti.
And at one point, I think he's talking to his nonna, but he says nonna, and I was like, what's a nonna?
And then they said, none your business. Like, yeah, Seagal.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, but it was really funny because I was like, and don't get me wrong, all of his Aikido fight scenes, fantastic, sure.
Oh yeah, they were
But
choreographed great.
It
They
was
were
just
fighting.
him like pushing people away, and I like it. It was very fluid. It felt like yoga. But yeah, no, there was a lot where I was like, what? And here's I feel like there was too much.
Oh, so much going on.
There was too much.
So much going on.
Like if you have to have a collection of clips, an anthology, a montage, if you will, to explain all of the backstory. One, you're a shitty writer. And two, it's not necessary. Like, I didn't need to know all of that. I didn't need to know he was born in Palermo. No. You just like give me a scene of him be like, then, and then like the CIA scene where he's like, fuck this shit. I'm not doing this anymore. And then present day. And then him being a cop. Apparently a really shitty cop. Because he just goes around killing everybody or beating people up, taking their drugs and shit. Not taking it, just taking it away.
Now, before we get into the actual, surprisingly, the synopsis for a very complex plot that this movie has.
Simple.
It's very, there's not a whole lot here.
That does not surprise me.
But before we go, there was one actor, and this actor has been in so many things, and not just him, actors like him, men like him. These were here. Let me share this. These were our principals. These were our shop teachers. These were, and where did these men go? Do you remember he was the sergeant or whatever?
Yes.
And this is Chicago, lieutenant or something like this.
Yeah.
Probably just goes home, has a beer, says hello to the kids, watches the Bears. The Bears.
The Bears, you say?
Like look, he's a shop teacher, or he's a vice principal, or he's a cop.
Yeah.
Where did these manly men go? They're gone. They don't exist anymore.
I'm sorry, you think that's a manly man?
Yeah.
That's adorable. That's adorable.
As soon as I saw him, it reminded me of so many like early 80s movies.
Oh,
with these guys that were
yes.
on the police force.
100%, because everybody who's not the renegade cop, he's not, the bad boy cop who goes against, the grain to do what's right.
Yeah, they're overweight.
They're always overweight. They're always wearing a suit and that never matches.
No,
never matches.
Dress is shitty.
Dressing like they just bought their clothes from the thrift store. Never sharply dressed.
No.
Never. And if they are sharply dressed, you find out later that they're crooked cops.
Yeah.
Always. They're just Joe Schmoes. Like, I'm pretty sure my sister probably had a history teacher in high school that looked just like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In the 80s. All of my teachers in high school, that was the 90s. Wait, I had a religion teacher that kind of looked like him.
There you go.
Yeah.
Everyone had a teacher.
No, vice principal.
Like
sorry,
him.
My bad.
Yep.
Vice principal, Mr. McNeil.
So I said principal, vice principal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's go over this movie. And like I said, we'll have to, because there's not a lot here. But anyways, all right. Nico Toscani. Yeah, he's not Italian, but he wants it to be Italian. So he is using the most obvious, overly Italian shit. He's an expert martial artist. We get to see that at the very beginning where he is in
Japan. Funny,
kicking everybody's ass.
I looked it up, and yes, Steven Seagal was actually the first American to teach in a Japanese Aikido dojo. So he's got the props, but they spent a lot of time on that scene in Japan after they do the montage of him growing up, explaining who he is. And I was like, is this going to be really pertinent? Or are you just showing us this?
Yeah. The producer was probably like, and Steven Seagal was one of the producers, but one of the other producers was like, we flew all the way to fucking Japan to do this stupid shit. We're going to use this footage. While serving in a covert operations on the Vietnamese-Cambodian border, he became disgusted with Agent Kurt Zagon. Zagon. It's like a kid wrote this in grade 5.
It's a villain name.
A very villain name. Like,
it's a very villain name.
I was going to say, you can't make this up, but he made it up.
Someone did.
Yeah. Who tortures prisoners. A standoff occurred when Toscani tries to stop him, and he leaves the CIA. Everyone in that unit in Vietnam was like 50 or older.
Correct.
Like every single one of them.
Also,
even his buddy.
His buddy looked like he was middle-aged, 100%. Yeah. Steven Seagal kind of looked like he was middle-aged.
Yeah.
Which, fine. They denoted his youth with a little ponytail in the back.
Yeah.
That was the only way you could discern.
And they just gave Buddy a hair dye job.
But apparently he was recruited into the CIA when he was 22. And it was like, okay, well, if you were 22 and then you were in the CIA for a few years and then you got out and then you became a cop and you're a detective, that takes a few years. Like, how old are you supposed to be? Nobody knows.
No one knows. That's part of his mystery. Years later, Toscani is now married and a detective in the Chicago Police Department's Vice Squad. Toscani and his new partner, Dolores Jackson, I don't think she's a new partner.
She is not a new partner. They have been partners for years. She's actually in her last week of work. She's got 3 more days.
She's becoming a lawyer, a prosecutor.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's going to go work for the DA, I think, as a lawyer.
After busting 2 of the dealers, so we're investigating a drug ring, and after busting 2 of the dealers, including Salvadorian kingpin Tony Salvano, Toscani finds C4 explosives. Okay, so let's jump really far ahead here. Holy shit. It jumps
super far ahead.
so first, at the party, after the
baptism,
the baptism, this one Italian lady is like, oh, and he's like, hey, what's so wrong with you?
That's the nonna. That's his nonna. Yeah, he got that Italian Chef Boyardee accent.
It's not a great accent.
English to his nonna, and I was like, "What are you doing, sir?"
I read that in his other movies, not all of them. in his other movies, if he's a cop in like the Bronx, he tries to have like a Bronx accent, and apparently it's horrible. And I cannot wait to watch them.
Same.
Because we're kind of shitting on this movie. If people, for everyone that's listening, we're kind of shitting. This movie is so much fun. I mean,
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's terrible, but it's so much fun.
yeah. And I do see. I think that his movies got better. Maybe
Yeah.
not.
I think this was the movie where Steven Seagal and Andrew Davis said to each other, like, let's show them who you are and what you can do.
Yeah.
And Steven Seagal was like, yeah. And then it kind of became like a resume.
Yeah.
And then they figured out what worked, what didn't work. And that may be why we ended up with more entertaining and less terrible Steven Seagal movies.
Yeah, because I actually went and like, where is this ranked? So I did like Steven Seagal movies ranked.
Yeah.
Theater movies. And there were so many. Like there's like 10 of them, like Out for Justice, Marked for Death. And I'm like, I don't know what I've seen them all. I couldn't tell you which one is which because like we said in before,
yeah,
they're pretty much the same movie, which is fine.
I think they figured out the formula from this movie, and they figured out what to leave behind, what really worked, what the audience responded to.
Yeah.
And then they just made like carbon copies where they just changed up the ingredients in it. It's like a Mad Libs. They made a Mad Libs like sheet for Steven Seagal movies, and they just replaced the words.
Yeah. And they were like, okay, Steven, you can't write anymore.
Okay, so we need a neighborhood. We need a location. We need an ethnicity. We need a job in law enforcement.
Yeah, let's include Steven. Steven, what job enforcement would you like to be in this movie? I want to be DEA. Sweet. All right, DEA, you heard him.
Okay, now who gets killed? Is it your partner? Is it your wife? Is it your girlfriend? Is it your brother?
Yeah.
Who gets killed that you want to find revenge for?
Yeah. All right. Okay, so yes. And then she is like my daughter is
the granddaughter
doing
I think,
drugs.
Lucia.
The granddaughter is doing drugs and she's
Lucia.
So him and his partner are on the way. He's like, stop here. He goes into this bar and he's like, have you seen this girl? Have you seen this girl? Some comments are made.
Some comments about pork. It's smelling like pork in there, I believe.
Yeah.
And then there were some other comments about like, oh, but I'd like to see her. And
yeah.
And
the one guy's like, I haven't seen her. I've seen the top of her head.
Yeah. and then he just beats everybody up
and
in
then
the bar.
Just beats the shit out of everybody.
And then walks through to the upstairs. Eventually, after torturing the room number or the apartment number out of the bartender.
And then he goes up, finds the girl doing, and the amount of drugs that was in there.
There was a lot of drugs.
These people who made this, they were like, they were like, what should we do to make them look like they're doing drugs? Let's put every fucking drug we can think of.
All the drugs.
Abundance of it.
All the drugs, all the paraphernalia, everything was in there. And I was like, who did the set design?
Yeah. I'm like they should be dead.
And did the director just say, put it all in?
Yeah.
And the set designer sitting there going, there's only 2 people in the room. Maybe we don't put in the coke and the crack and the pipes and the bong and maybe we don't and
the syringes
and the heroin. Maybe we don't put all of it in. And the director's like, no, all of it, go.
So and she's like, no, Nico, you always ruin my fun. And he's like, and then he smacks the guy around and he's like, don't kill me. I'll tell you some information you want to know. And tells him about some thing coming in.
Okay, but can we point out that he picks up her school uniform?
Oh yeah.
This girl's in high school.
Yeah.
This girl's in high school and her like math book. And she's like, oh yeah, my math book and my homework and what. And I was like, hey, girl, you just got caught in your underwear doing drugs with a grown-ass man. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And apparently, if she's related to Nico and not his wife, that makes her part of the mafia side of his family.
Yeah. Yeah, because Sharon Stone doesn't look like you could maybe pass Steven Seagal as maybe he kind of.
He had dark hair.
Sharon Stone
apparently
definitely not.
No.
So she's related to him.
Yeah. So I'm like.
So you're doing some mob dude's daughter, niece,
Yeah, and I'm like,
granddaughter.
and
Yeah.
nobody's gonna bring this up. Nobody's gonna. Okay, sure. I was like, also as a mob princess, that's probably not something you want to do because that's gonna get whoever you're doing the drugs with killed.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh, we'll say this too. Steven Seagal was very thin in this movie.
So thin.
So thin.
So thin, but his shoulders were also very narrow.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
he was very much a straight up and down kind of ruler-esque body.
Yeah, he really shouldn't have done anything in the wife beater. It didn't make him look very tough. Like when he had a suit on and all that, and he looked that face.
It was
and
the shoulder pads.
Yeah,
the shoulder pads kind of give him a little more because like once he takes it all off, you're just kind of like,
yeah,
I think I could take you.
yeah, exactly. And then you see him run, you're like, I know I could take you. I'll throw a donut on the ground and then kick your ass. So anyway, then what happens in between that and the sting operation? Not much. We get to know that his partner's leaving and that type of thing.
Yeah. So we learn a little more, and then she's like, "Oh, you're gonna get me arrested." And they're talking about when they're doing the sting operation. That's when you kind of learn that Nico colors outside the lines.
Yes,
he's not the most by the book kind of cop, which no surprise there. And so you kind of learn a little bit of that, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So now at the sting, they're all together. They look very conspicuous.
So conspicuous.
And they're like, everyone's here. There's here from the DEA, the FBI, and everyone's holding their ear talking in a distance. They're doing the same thing.
Correct.
The fucking mobsters come in, get out, and what do you think? Oh, it looks good. Like, you guys suck. There's like 80 extra fucking people working here, and you're not a little suspicious?
Nope.
So anyways, the FBI comes roaring in a cars and like freeze, and the shootout happens. And then there is the car chase where they try to run over Nico. Nico shoots and then flips over onto the car. This was one of my favorite scenes when he flips over onto the roof. I don't know how he got onto the roof, but he gets on the roof.
No idea.
No idea.
He's just there. And then they start shooting through the roof.
Yeah.
And he like kind of gets winged, but then he's like on his side and I was like, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah. And then he punches the window open.
Yes.
And then starts strangling the dude. And that was awesome. Because the guy's driving going, boss, what should I do? And his eyes are bulging out.
Stop the car.
Stop the car.
Oh, you're stop the car.
Stop.
The driver's just staring at him like, what should I do?
And he's like, and he's doing this to him.
Yeah.
He's like, just stop the fucking car. That was a good scene. That was a great scene.
Yeah, man.
All right. And then they find the C4 explosives. Shortly afterward, the men that Toscani and Jackson arrested are released at the request of the federal officials. And Toscani is ordered to stand down. We know that's not going to happen.
No, of course not.
Then they go and follow the mob people into a church, and then they put flowers in a vase. His church.
Nico's church.
They put flowers in a vase, and then they walk out, and they're following him, and then the priest shows up, and he's like, Nico, I need to talk to you. Come with me. And they're like, well, we got to, we're doing something. He's like, no, I need you. I'm like, dude, you are tailing the mobsters, and you just drop everything and follow this priest downstairs. And there's a bunch of refugees.
They thought about it for a hot second.
They did think of,
There was a moment of struggle,
which
I appreciate. But then they go down and they see the refugees. They're supposed to be locked in a room with the padlock on the outside.
Yeah, so they can't. Yeah, for their protection.
Don't put the refugees in charge of the lock. That would be crazy.
Yeah, this doesn't look like human trafficking.
Let the lock be accessible from the outside, from the people trying to get to the refugees. Good job.
Yeah.
Who wrote this? But anyways.
Steven Seagal.
They meet the refugees and they hear a little bit of a story. And then there's a priest but the priest disappeared.
Yeah.
And there are nuns. And that's
Steven
all we get from that.
And then Steven Seagal's like, I'll come by and watch over them for you. And he's like, no, you can't. I can't ask you to do that. Like, why the fuck did you call him down here? Just to show off your human trafficking business?
It was
Like,
show
what was
and
the
tell.
purpose?
It was show and tell. It was literally like, look at my room of refugees.
But you don't have
Somebody
a room full
broke
of
in.
refugees.
That's it. Thanks so much for coming.
So yeah. So finally he says, okay, thank you. Stop by and just make sure everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Later, the priest of Toscani's parish is killed by an explosion during mass. So the priest on their way out says, I want to see you here on Sunday. Da, 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 da. And they're going, and then you hear something, and then a big explosion.
Yes.
And I don't know how Steven Seagal, every frame, he was holding someone different and getting them out.
It was this saving montage.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal like clocks someone wearing a head covering, and it's a woman. She leaves a bag. He's like, that's weird. Watches the woman walk out, and then he's like, oh shit. And then he covers his wife and daughter, gets them down. Then shit blows up. And then literally, they did have some people actually look really.
Yeah.
But Steven Seagal just carries a bunch of people outside.
Yeah, not his wife and kid. We don't see him escorting them out.
No.
He's got like some dude, some kid, some lady.
Then he carries the priest
and
out.
It's a montage.
It is a montage because it's just
That's
different
awesome.
cuts of him carrying someone out. And it's funny because during the priest one, did you realize this? He's walking with the priest, right? And he's struggling. You can see it. He's having a hard time carrying that priest.
Yeah.
But he's staring right at the camera as he walks out. And then there's this moment right before it ends where he like kind of looks to the side and like looks back and looks, and then he just kind of walks off to the side. I laughed so hard at that.
Man, it was I would love to. I wonder if the DVD has like commentary with Steven Seagal and the director. That would be amazing.
I want to know if Steven Seagal realizes he did this stuff.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't think he did.
So they get all the people out and they realize that the C4, and then, okay, wait a minute. I'll just go back to here. Let's see if this tells. Toscani's old CIA handler, Nelson Fox, contacts him and tells him to move his family to a safer location, saying that he is in danger. Mm-hmm. Before this, the FBI people keep telling him to stop doing this. And he's like,
I think at that point, he's already been, okay, the FBI warned him.
Yes.
He keeps looking into it. I think that's where we end up seeing his running scene, because he gets cornered by 5 hitmen, and he stops all 5 hitmen who have automatic or semi-automatic weapons.
Okay, is this the Puerto Ricans or no, this is the mob guys.
No, it's the everybody.
With the machine guns.
With the machine guns in the street.
If we're there, how the fuck did he survive that fucking... They blew the shit out of the car. How he got out of the car and like down the street and behind them.
Because that was after he had gotten his family out. So that was after, excuse me, he got suspended.
Okay, yeah.
So then he sent his family off to the mob side.
The mobs, yeah, his family.
And he's like, stay with my mafioso family. They're going to take care of you.
And then didn't help any other way. You know, he's going outside the rules and doesn't think to use his fucking... Yeah, the one...
There's one guy.
Yeah.
Who's like, no, man, I'll hang out. It's cool. Anyways, he's in the car alone. He's got 5 hitmen that have been sent to kill him. They all
walking down the street with fully automatic weapons.
Fully automatic or semi-automatic.
Great scene.
I'm not that familiar with guns. They all open fire. He survives. This is a testament to older cars that are made of steel. Comes around with one handgun, and they all submit immediately.
Freeze! And they're like, oh no, he's got a handgun.
Oh, he's got us. Well, then we should just put all our... He tells them all, okay, you put your gun down, then you put your gun down. And they all do it. And I'm like, we're just gonna ignore this.
If I was one of them, I'd be like, you're telling me not one of us fucking morons saved one bullet in their fucking clip.
One guy's like, what if we shoot you first? And then Steven Seagal shoots him.
And there's witnesses. There's people looking at it.
All 4 people are like, oh, okay. But then they follow him into the poor Indian guy's little shop, and they just ruin it.
No.
You hear they said to come to America, it would be good.
Yeah, as his shop is
no,
getting
don't break that.
And that last, because he throws these guys through that poor Indian guy's convenience store through everything that he
And
owned.
he didn't have to take that last guy through the main window. He didn't.
It was weird because he tackled him, and
Yes.
as they were going through the window, moved to the side, stood up, and leaped out of the window. I'm like, that was incredible.
And then
Holy
after
shit.
that, the sirens can be heard, and he runs.
And he told the Indian guy, call the police.
Yeah.
And then he hears and he's like, oh, I better get out of here. I'm like,
Well,
what?
because at that point he's suspended. He's been told not to. But I'm like, you just got attacked by a bunch of hitmen.
Yeah.
I think you can report that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Well, you just shot one in cold blood too.
I mean, is it in cold blood if they're holding a gun on you?
Well, they already dropped it. And they said, we can
No.
rush you.
I don't think that guy had dropped his gun yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But self-defense laws in the States are very different from self-defense laws in Canada.
Yes, you can shoot people in the States, and yeah.
Yeah, you just have to.
I mean, you just
hearing-
can't walk around shooting people. I mean,
No.
you have to. It
I
has to be
mean-
self-defense.
Somebody tell the cops that. Oh,
if Steven Seagal was working outside. He was a renegade by this time. So
yeah, he's a vigilante right now.
Yeah.
He is a
so
vigilante.
He's gonna shoot who he wants to fucking shoot.
This movie becomes even more and more nonsensical as it goes on.
Yeah, because he's like, no one's above the law except for
But
me.
apparently him.
Yeah,
He's above the law. His mafioso family above the law.
Yeah.
His partner above the law, but only when he deems it appropriate.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? So, anyways, where are we in this plot?
Okay, his friend told him to get out. The FBI show up to his house to arrest him. His wife yells at them.
I think I jumped ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. His wife is yelling at him yelling at them that not to go through stuff. And Steven Seagal are calling them pussies. And I think this was some improv because it wasn't very well acted. It wasn't a well acted scene.
Did you notice the way he says motherfucker?
Like a black person?
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
I listened to this comedian who is like obsessed with Steven Seagal. His name is Tom Segura, and he was talking about he used to love the show because Steven Seagal became a cop and had a reality show.
Yeah,
where he was
I heard
an
about
actual
that.
cop, and he said whatever ethnicity he was walking around in, that's how he talked. Like he would talk like black, like what's up, cuz, and stuff like that. Like he's fucking insane. But yeah.
Well, no, because every time he said motherfucker, I was like, you what?
Yeah.
This is so out of nowhere.
Are you South African? Are you Italian?
What
Make up
is
your
that
fucking mind, dude.
accent? Motherfucker. It wasn't even motherfucker. It was motherfucker.
I think he was trying to be cool, like I don't know.
I think he was trying to put like I'm from the hood.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, that was definitely it.
He is not from
No.
the hood.
No.
As evidenced by that, because I actually made a note. I was like, Steven Seagal saying motherfucker is my new favorite thing.
Oh, it's awesome.
Every time he said it, I laughed.
It makes me gone because when I saw that, it reminded me of that comedian talking about this.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I have to watch this show. It must be amazing. And he's actually a cop with authority. Oh my God.
I'd also like to point out that depending on where you are, the qualifications to become a cop are very like in some counties in the States, all you need to do is like a 6-week training course and you can be a cop and they give you a
Sweet.
gun.
Oh, even better.
They give you a whole ass gun and they're like, go out into the world after 6 weeks. That's
My
terrifying.
catchphrase would be Steven Seagal's motherfucker.
That would be good.
Be like, that white boy's crazy. All right, where are we? Under pressure from the feds, Toscani is asked to turn in his badge. He eventually discovers that the dealers he busted are linked to Kurt Zagon, who is still with the CIA and who is being accused of human rights violations by a Central American priest who was being sheltered by Toscani's priest. Yes, I will give the movie this. They don't tie everything up. But
there's a reason
for the main plot, they do tie it up. It takes a long time to get to
It
this
takes
point.
a really long time.
There are plot holes all over this movie. They don't get tied up. There's plot holes. But the main plots from Vietnam to CIA to the priest to South America to the senator, It doesn't make sense, but they do tie it up.
It's very much a spider web that's not very intricate.
Yeah.
Like they're like, here's the main story, and we've got like little webbings coming up, but only like 4 or 5. And some of them are interconnected, some of them are not, most of them are not. It's like, but this is why we introduced you to everybody in the beginning of the movie. And I'm like, I feel like there's a better way to do that.
Now, after he survives these gunmen, he runs into some Puerto Ricans with swords.
It's a machete.
Yes, actually, yeah. I'm sorry. Yes, they are machetes.
Like,
big machetes.
Let's not give sword owners a bad rap.
Yeah, and then he kicks their asses.
Yes, and amputates one of their hands.
Yeah. And then one gets away, and Steven Seagal has to run, and it's a very long chase scene. It's one of the best parts of this fucking movie. There are a lot of best parts of this movie, but the running scene is one of my favorites. Now, granted, if you saw me run, I don't even think I could run that much as Steven Seagal did there. Yeah. But if you saw me run, it's not going to be pretty. But I'll tell you this. It would look better on film than Steven Seagal's running. Like,
100%.
Yeah. Tom Cruise has nothing on Steven Seagal when it comes to running.
It was funny though, because when I watched him run, I just kind of stopped and I went, even I'm a better runner. And I don't run. But I do not look like that.
I don't think he runs in another movie, and I think that's a shame.
I think he might.
I hope so, because I plan on watching more
Hard to Kill.
Oh, sweet. I think that's his next one after this.
I think on TikTok, there's a whole running montage of Steven Seagal running in movies. Am I going to watch that? Yes. Yes, I will. Not right now, though. We're going to finish this up.
So, yeah, it was. At first, I'm like, yes, he's running. I don't remember why. I remember people making fun of it. And then I'm watching and go, I know why people are making fun of it.
It's Phoebe.
It's Phoebe from Friends.
It's Phoebe from Friends. He runs like Phoebe from Friends.
And I'm going to say this, that if this was probably not the first take. I'm thinking, director, fuck, let's do this again. Fucking Seagal, do this with your fucking arms, please. And this was the best they could get, which means I could only imagine what.
Can you imagine what's on the cutting room floor?
Yeah. Oh, be a gold mine.
That'd be amazing.
Now, okay, so while Zagon is torturing the priest, so he wants to kill the senator because the senator is doing something that the CIA and the government, someone doesn't want to do. And the priest found out down in Central America. So they can't kill the senator if the priest told somebody, because then someone would put 1 and 1 together. I'm guessing. That is stupid, but
that was my assumption.
Yeah.
Because we never got the villain monologue, which was very upsetting about why they were doing what they were doing. Because if there was going to be a villain monologue in a movie, it would be this one. But we never got that. We only got the monologue about how he really enjoys torturing people and he's super good at it. But I think it was like something was said to him in confession, to the priest in confession. The priest can't repeat what's been said in confession. So they torture him to confirm that he hasn't told anyone. Because I think what he got told is that they were planning to assassinate the senator, because the senator was going to put in papers that would end Kirk or whatever his career.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to do what they're doing.
Zagon would be basically sent to prison for human rights violations. I remember someone saying that, human rights violation. So it was like, he's trying to save his life, his career, and also the CIA from basically being dismantled. But they're planning on killing the senator. And that's it.
Now, if anyone's watching and it's May 30th and it's 10 after 8 and you know the plot better than we just explained, please comment. I would love to know.
There's so much that I just assumed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I put 2 and 2 together and I was like, oh, that's what's happening. Okay, now I get it. Because there's always a moment of why.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, it must be this. But nobody actually tells us.
No. Toscani bursts in and as the priest is getting tortured, Toscani bursts in and a gun battle ensues. Detective Jackson and Lukic are wounded during the shootout, and Toscani has to flee. Okay, so Pam Grier gets shot. The other guy gets one guy gets shot, and Toscani takes Nico, gets him out. And then Pam Grier is like, I'm not staying in the car like I was, like he told me to. I'm going to go help. And then she gets shot.
After shooting someone who was shooting at Nico.
Yes. Now, Nico sees her get shot, doesn't go. And I'm like, oh, I was surprised that he didn't go to help her. He chased the dude.
Yeah, no, he's
he
like,
left his partner alone.
She go die. Keep it running.
And he's like, they got her.
I think we're supposed to assume that she's dead.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't really assume that. You should check.
But there's no like moment of like, oh shit. There's no moment of, oh, do I get her help or like nothing. No. It's just let me run after the guy. And you're just like, what? This is supposed to be your bestie.
And then he's running after a guy, and it flip-flops to them chasing him.
Mm-hmm.
Because Zagon and the other guy, and they're on the subway.
Yes.
Yeah.
One gets on one train. The others are on the other train. They're shooting between trains. It's like a whole thing.
And then Seagal gets away. And then he's all upset because his partner dead. And I'm sitting there going, she's not dead.
She's not dead.
You would have known that if you would have checked on her. All right. So she's not dead. She's wearing her vest. Senator Ernest Harrison is investigating Zagon's group to reveal their ties to the drug trafficking. When Toscani finds out that Zagon killed the priest and is planning to kill Harrison, he goes after him. Fox confronts Toscani while the latter is doing surveillance on the rooftop. Yes, so he's doing a rooftop surveillance.
Yes.
And then his old Vietnam buddy pops up, and you find out is working with Zagon. And
because he was also CIA.
Yeah.
But he warns Toscani, stop, get out. Like, you're being targeted, get your family out. And he thought, I think this was supposed to be the great, like, betrayal.
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the acting or the dialogue or,
And if you're listening to this and thinking we are making this sound overly complicated, this is how complicated this movie is. Like, you're just assuming shit. And there is a lot going on in this. For a 1988 Steven Seagal $7 million movie, there's a lot going on in this movie.
This was the workshop movie to figure out the formula that will work for the rest of the Steven Seagal.
Yeah, they got it. They nailed. I'm pretty sure they nailed it.
Yes.
But yeah, they had to do this first to see what worked and what didn't.
100%.
But they are later interrupted by Zagon's men, and Zagon is actually there.
Correct.
Fox is killed, and Toscani is captured. Now they start shooting. Fox gets shot. He's like, Nico, and throws him his gun, and Nico's shooting. And this is no, we're not in the parking garage yet.
No, we are, because the Fox's gun he puts it on the back of the car for him.
Right.
Right?
Kill. Okay, yes. Okay, so the mob boss that got strangled once again gets ran. Yeah, he gets hit and then on the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
And Nico is reversing and speeding, and he's yelling at him to stop, and he takes off his shoes and throws it at him. I'm like, this poor fucker. And then that's where we get the car that goes out
of the parking garage.
Parking lot, and the guy falls. Now, the first flip over looked horrible.
Yeah.
But the fall was great. The fall was
amazing.
Yeah. The dummy at the beginning looked kind of silly, but I get it.
That was one thing, because there's also a point later on in this movie where he breaks someone's arm, and you're like, oh God.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's terrible. Because you could tell it's a plastic arm. You're like, ugh. It's a little empty rubber arm.
Yeah. Then they take him, they finally get him. He's held in the kitchen of a hotel during a Harrison campaign rally. Before Zagon can kill Harrison, Toscani breaks free and kills Zagon and all of his remaining men. Now, before he does this drug that Zagon uses has been shown many times to just overtake someone, and they have to tell the truth and stuff like that. they give it to Nico. It doesn't affect him at all. It does a bit, but he fights it, and then he
fights it.
It makes him superhuman, and he breaks through his
It makes him Captain America.
Yeah, and then he just kills everybody.
He kills everybody, and then he
They
stumbles
gave
out
him
of the
too
kitchen.
much drugs.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
He stumbles out of the kitchen. He stumbles into the lobby, and he like falls down, and everybody like surrounds
Blood all
him.
over him.
Yeah, blood all over him. Not really sad. They use smelling salts to wake him up.
Yeah.
And the senator is literally walking out, being like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah.
Never actually talks to Nico at the hotel. Security's not doing much. There's the one Fed who's just standing next to the senator. I'm like, maybe you should be checking to see if the threat has been eliminated before you just start wandering around with the senator who has a hit out on them. Maybe. Just a thought.
And they only gave Nico the drugs. It wasn't to extract information. He said it was just for fun.
It was just for fun.
So you lost everything and died over
fun
stupidity.
Should have just put a bullet in his head.
You are a horrible bad guy. You're one of those bad
So
guys that
horrible.
explains everything
Yes.
to James Bond before James Bond uses that time to break free and thwart you.
But Nico didn't need that time. He just
Didn't
broke
need that-
through
no.
those like holds. Yeah, he's like, nah, man, I got this.
Yeah. Yeah, just snaps. Those were the whatchamacallit, you cannot break through them is what my point is. You
The
cannot
zip ties?
Yeah, you cannot
Depending
do
on-
that. Well, I guess you
There are ways, but
Yeah.
not the way he did it. You have
No.
to be superhuman for that. Otherwise, you're just cutting into your arms
Yeah.
because he was zip tied to the chair.
Yeah, and I saw you run, Steven Seagal. I'm not buying it. I saw your arms.
I saw your arms. You didn't do that.
Afterwards, Toscani meets Harrison, who has been informed of everything. Harrison promises justice and Toscani says he is now willing to testify about his experience with Zagon and covert operations in the CIA. It's a very weird ending.
Yeah.
We forgot that scene about the federal guy that he makes take off all his clothes and jump into the lake.
True.
It didn't make much sense, but I guess it was more of
None.
a humor thing. I don't know.
I guess it was supposed to be funny,
Yeah.
but Steven Seagal didn't deliver it funny.
Yeah, he's not that actor. He's not.
Yeah. No.
He's the type, kill someone and make a stupid comment. You stick with that. Don't go for the funny. Do the cheesy.
Yeah.
one-liner
No,
stuff.
it didn't. It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Yeah, and he's sitting there with his wife and his kid, and
Yeah.
and
Then they
that's-
start
and
playing
then,
his testimony, and
and then he does the little nobody's above the law
nobody's above the law
except
for
me. I broke
and my
like
friends
48
and-
laws.
and that guy down the street that I needed help with something
I'm-
on.
I'm
But
s-
other than that, nobody is above.
And I'm so hungry.
Let me make a sandwich.
And that is our movie. Now, it sounds like we didn't like it or we shit on it, and we did. But
so shit on
what's your score?
it. Dude, this is a solid rental. You need to rent it. And here's why. It is an objectively terrible movie. Like, objectively. There are some moments where you're kind of like, this is not bad, but that's the best it gets. Objectively. Subjectively, this is so bad, it's good.
Yeah.
The running, the acting, the dialogue, Steven Seagal in a tank top. Like, there's so much in this movie that makes it entertaining and even a little bit joyful. Like, where you're just sitting there going, somebody made this.
Yeah.
Somebody made this and said, yes, this is what we want. And I have to appreciate that. This was terrible. It was terrible, but it was very entertaining. I laughed. I laughed a lot. I probably laughed a lot more than they wanted me to, the filmmakers. And I'm okay with that. But still, it's one of those movies where I'm like, yeah, I paid $4.99 to watch it. And I'm not mad about that. Not at all. I consider it like $4.99 well worth it. So
Now,
yeah,
if you had to score out of 10,
out of 10.
IMDb out of 10,
Okay.
that's where it gets hard because
Because here, if we're
Bad.
doing it like on, is this a good movie? It's a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
If that, 3 out of 10. Are we doing this on is it an entertaining movie? We're looking at like 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Like it's terrible, but the terrible that they've chosen is so entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you for making me laugh, guys. This is amazing. But yeah, that's my score. What's yours?
I agree, and well, this movie was, like you said, it's not a great movie, but it is a great movie. This is like a wonderful 80s cheesy B action movie. This is like the definition. This is like up there with Pierce Bronson in Death Wish 17 or whatever he did, and Chuck Norris in Missing in Action 7, whatever. I don't know if I would buy it, but I would watch it again because it's fun. It's a very fun movie. It's kind of like what you said in the preview, that if you were out and you saw a bunch of Steven Seagal movies at a garage sale,
yes,
you'd grab them. Yeah, if I saw like Apple had like 5 or 10 Seagal movies for like 10, 20 bucks, I would buy them.
Oh yeah,
I would definitely buy them. I wouldn't pay 20 bucks for this movie or anything like that. If I found a DVD that had commentary with Steven Seagal, I definitely would. So I don't know if I would buy it. I would say that if you're into cheesy action movies, you like Steven Seagal, you remember liking Steven Seagal, if you can find it cheap, like a cost of a rental, I would watch this again. But it's a solid rental, I agree. I rented it. I was not disappointed at all. I had so much fun watching this movie. I rewound it a couple times.
Me too.
Yeah, to watch the running, a couple of the one-liners, and I'm like, did he say motherfucker like he's a black gangster? Rewind. Yes, he did. That is awesome.
So many times I was like, is that what I heard? And then I rewind to be like, oh yeah, that's what I heard.
And this is not a blight on Steven Seagal. His movies were very formulaic. They were. I remember them as a kid being great. This is exactly like Anna said. They put a lot into this movie, and I think the producers, and I probably even him said, this worked, this did not work, this did not work. Now, and because his movies just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger until they didn't. But like I don't remember them because they're a lot, but I remember Out for Justice, Marked for Death, all of them, Half Past Dead, Glimmer Man. There's a bunch of them. There is a ton of them. Under Siege. I've never seen Under Siege 2.
I don't think I've seen or actually have I?
That one's on a train.
I don't know, because Steven Seagal, after this movie, Steven Seagal made the same movie. He had his career is made of Mad Libs movies. Yeah. Where you just fill in the adjectives, the adverbs, and the nouns, and they make a movie surrounding that. And I appreciate that. There's nothing wrong with that. But they all start to blend together.
Yeah. And for those listening or watching, I'm so looking forward to watching more Steven Seagal movies from the 90s. This was the only one done in the 80s.
Yeah.
So yeah, what did he do? Because I know he did a lot where he did a lot of direct to DVD, straight to videos, a lot after a while.
Steven Seagal movies. Out for Justice, Under Siege, Hard to Kill. Apparently he was in Machete. What?
That is a Robert Rodriguez Grindhouse movie.
The Glimmer Man, On Deadly Ground, Fire Down Below.
Yep.
Exit Wounds with DMX.
Yep.
Forgot about that one. Under Siege 2, Force of Execution, A Good Man. Oh, Sniper Special Ops, I think, was straight to video.
Yeah, now we're getting into the straight to video.
Now we're
ones.
in the straight to video. Wow, he made a lot of straight to video.
A lot of them. And
that's a lot.
But right up until
I think there's Black Dawn, Half Past Dead. I'm looking for all the ones where he doesn't have that weird ass goatee. He did a movie, China Salesman, with Mike Tyson. What?
Really?
Yeah, this is the thing.
I might have to watch that.
Violence of Action is from 2012. He's a little bit fluffier in this one. He's a little chunky, but he does not have the weird goatee. But I think it might have been a straight to video because you can buy it on Apple for $4.99.
And I think Half Past Dead, I could be wrong, but I think Half Past Dead was the last one that hit theaters. After that, I don't think anything went to theaters. And I remember like Having Passed Dead, and it has a 4.6 on IMDb, so I could be way wrong. But for some reason, he plays a undercover cop that goes into a sci-fi prison, and then all shit breaks loose. And I thought it was awesome. But
you can buy it for $14.99.
I'm not buying it for fucking
a criminal master. This is the blurb. A criminal mastermind sets in motion a plan involving a death row inmate in a high-tech prison and his $200 million stash of gold.
Yeah,
Ja Rule is in it,
and Ja Rule's in it. Sign me up.
But so is Morris Chestnut, and I really enjoy looking at Morris.
He's the main bad guy.
But
I remember Exit Wounds with DMX. I remember liking that one. The Patriot, Fire Down Below, Glimmerman. I remember being funny. Executive Decision. He's only in for like half the movie or something like that. But
I am gonna see which ones of these I can watch for free.
Yeah.
Because even though I enjoy Steven Seagal, I feel like I need to reacquaint myself with his body of work before I start buying or renting movies.
Yeah, I don't think I want to buy them.
Yeah, no.
Again, but
Exit Wounds is $9.99 if you want to buy it.
And that's the one with DMX, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Steven Seagal stars as
cool.
a maverick Detroit police detective, Orrin Boyd, whose take no prisoners approach to domestic terrorism gets him booted downtown to the city's toughest precinct. Multi-platinum hip-hop star DMX stars as the powerful and mysterious crime lord Latrell. Where is it? Walker, whose dicey connections and seemingly unlimited cash make him everyone's target. Together, the two men take on a conspiracy that reaches all the way through the ranks to the heart of the precinct.
Yeah. Sounds like the other movies.
Oh my God, I want to watch that.
And it's DMX.
I'm pretty sure I watched it.
Yes, I know I watched it.
Because it was during my Rough Riders era. It's listening to a lot of DMX.
So for those listening, this movie, again, objectively not a great movie, but overall so much fun and a great movie. So take that as you will. I would give it a 7 out of 10 because it goes down to like the 3-4 area, but the fun factor and the cheesiness of the 80s, it had synthesizer music. It had, and when things were going bad, it was the saxophone music.
Yes.
It was so 80s. I would give it a 7.5 just on the fun factor alone.
Oh yeah.
So it's a solid rental. I don't know if I would buy it. I would buy it if I found it in a bundle. I would buy it at a garage sale or if I at the convenience store. They have those little rack things for like $5. I think if you and
your friends like to get together, get high, maybe a little bit drunk, watch stupid movies, this is your movie.
This one's in the, especially when it comes to action, cheesy action movies.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is 1988's Above the Law with Steven Seagal. It was great.
Really is.
So we're still on a roll. I mean, it was a bad movie, but it was such a good movie. It was so bad.
No, it's a bad movie, but not it was entertaining. So we still liked the experience of watching
it's still like the movie. Yeah. Still love the movie. Yeah. All right. So we are still on the roll and all right. Anything else you want to add?
Nope. I'm good. I think I talked enough. This movie was a lot.
This movie was a lot. Well, thank you for coming back to 1988 and going over Above the Law with us. Let us know what you thought of it in the comments below, or if you're listening on the podcast, email us at there's a link there that you can say what you thought. Yeah. All right. Well, until the next movie we remember liking.
Congratulations. You just had one of your childhood movie memories vindicated. Or they just eviscerated it. I don't know. This is a generic one-size-fits-all type of ending to the podcast. So thank you for listening, and please join Anna and Jimmy next time for another episode of the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. If you dare to go back and watch that movie you remember liking,